This is chapter number 10, New Empires and Kingdoms. The story starts with Arvind. Now, Arvind has to play in his school as a king, a role of the king. He is Samudragupta. He has to play the role of Samudragupta. And because he is going to become Samudragupta, he just thought, like everyone would, that he will be wearing great cloth, robes, splendid robes, and he will twirl mustaches, and then he'll have a sword and he can roam around. But there was a surprise. He was being told that you are going to be a musician king. You have to do poetry, you have to recite poetry. And he was just surprised, playing a veena. So this poetry, playing a veena and being a musician king, was Samudragupta like this? That means there were kings in our past who were warriors as well as musicians. So we are talking about Samudragupta. He was a very, very famous and popular ruler of Gupta dynasty. Gupta dynasty. He was a Maharajadhiraj. So how do we know about him? About him we know by a very, very long inscription, Abhilekh, on Ashok pillar at Allahabad. Now at Rudra, the name has been changed. So from here, this inscription, we knew that Samudragupta was what? He was a warrior, he was a musician king. So now in his court, there was a person called Harisen. He was a minister also, he was a poet also. So in Samudragupta's court or in his Raj Darbar, there was Harisen. His name is going to appear again and again, right? So he was a poet also and a minister also. His content, whatever he has composed, is written here. And by this, we know about Samudragupta's dynasty, his life. And this inscription is somewhat different from other inscriptions that we found. This inscription is called as Prashasti. 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 So this Prashasti word has come from Prashansa, means praising someone, in praise of, Gungan, Tarif. So that is how Harisen was praising Samudragupta, and that is how he has written the Prashasti. And this Prashasti, what we find in then Allahabad inscription at the Ashokan pillar. Now Samudragupta's Prashasti, we get to know a lot of things from that. Harisena has said, Samudragupta, I'll write one letter of that. He was a very big warrior. That is, he was a proper king. He was a great warrior. He won a lot of battles, so got victories in various battles. He was a learned man. That is, Vidwan. He was very intelligent. And then he was a very good poet. Very good poet. He would recite poetry, and then he was a musician also. These inscriptions and these models, we can see that what he was. There is one more thing. Harisena actually compared him with God. He equals him to Ishwar, God, Bhagwan. That's how Harisena was praising him. And these are very big sentences. The Prashasti has very, very large sentences. So the thing which should come into your mind, that where is this Samudragupta dynasty? Where is the Gupta dynasty? So this is the purple line. This all inside, this is the boundary. This purple line is showing the boundary of the dynasty we are talking about, Gupta Empire. This is the core region, which is a highlighted region, and Patliputra, Mathura, Vidisha, Ayodhya, all was here. Okay, so this is Gupta's. Licchavi I am going to talk about just now. Kannauj also will come in our discussion. Now, if you see this map very closely, there are 4 categories I am going to discuss. Harisena divided into 4 categories. He is the Samudragupta about whom we are talking about. First thing is this green region, green shaded region. Then we have red dots. This is the second region. Third region is the purple color. Fourth is light blue, which is the fourth region. So one is inner state, the pink one. Aryavrat is the green color. The dot is the cities conquered by the Guptas. So what happened at this time when and this all we know from the Prashastis. The Harisena has written the Prashastis. The first region is, here we have 9 rulers of Aryavarta. Aryavarta, 9 rulers, and these rulers were uprooted, or they fought the battle and lost to these empire, Samudragupta's empire, and they become a part of Samudragupta's empire. So this is how this whole green region is under the control of Samudragupta and this Gupta empire. So Harisena, he has written in the Prashasti these 4 different parts. That is, he has said how Samudragupta has different policies for different region or different people or different rulers all around, right? When I'll tell you all these 4, you'll understand. First region you understood, that is under the control of Samudragupta and this empire. Then we have this now south. If you have to go from north to south, that is called Dakshina Path. Dakshina means south, Path means path. So now the Gupta Shasak came this way. These red dots, all are the very small rulers were here, and they were conquered by the dynasty, Samudragupta dynasty. Okay, and they surrendered to Samudragupta. They got defeated, but Samudragupta said, okay, you can rule in your places. They surrendered, and he just granted them, okay, you rule this area. This is the second part. Third region is the purple area. Here, this purple area, we have various places like Assam, Nepal, and we have the coastal Bengal. So I'm writing it here: Assam, coastal Bengal, and Nepal. And there are various Gans and Parishad. I told you about this region. The Gana and Sangha were there. Okay, when we were discussing earlier. So this Gana and Sangha in the northwest region, and they all were bringing gifts for Samudragupta. It's a kind of surrender only. They were coming to his court, and they were just thinking him or minding him as the king. And there is other region also, which is the outlying area, and here we have Kushanas, three basically: Kushanas, Shak region. Shak was also an empire, or not an empire, it's a dynasty. So then we have the Sri Lankans. So they also surrendered. How? They got their daughters married to him, right? So this is how a rishtedari or the relatives they became. So these are all the pictures. The king, which is showing that he was playing Veena. Now these are certain genealogies which we get from the Prashastis, like Samudragupta. Who was Samudragupta father, his grandfather, his great grandfather? We get it from the Prashastis. So this information of his ancestors and his offsprings, like his kid, his kid's kid. So there is a word Vikram Samvat because of Vikramaditya. I am talking about 58 before Common Era. And this is a Gupta king called Chandragupta II. The picture is shown here. Chandragupta II, CG2. And he got victory over Sharks. That was also a region. So that is how he became the Vikramaditya. Vikramaditya he became. Chandragupta II. So as I was telling, this Samudragupta, we knew about his mother and father. Mother and father. The mother was called as Kumara Devi. Mother was called as Kumara Devi, and she belonged to Lichavi Gan. I told you Lichavi will come. He belonged to Lichavi Gan. So Kumar Devi, the father of Samudragupta, is Chandragupta. He is the main key person. He was the actually key person or starter of Gupta dynasty. This Chandragupta, father, Kumara Devi as mother. And these two, Samudragupta and Chandragupta, both got the title of Maharajadhiraj. Means the Raja of Raja, the kings of kings. That is how they became so powerful at that time. Along with that, we know about the people who came after him, or the kings that came after him. Samudragupta's son. Okay. And there were Samudragupta. After that, Chandragupta II came. I talked about Chandragupta II. That is Vikramaditya. Later called him people Vikramaditya. So Chandragupta II, as I said, he conquered or overcame the Shakas. And after that, we also knew that in his court there were incredibly good people. Means very artistic, very poetic. So for example, Kalidas was a very great, very named poet. Aryabhat, he was a mathematician also, and he was an astronomer also. So Aryabhat is one name, Kalidas is another name. These two names are very important as far as Chandragupta II or Vikramaditya is concerned. So you have to remember this name. Aryabhatta, the astronomer, mathematician. Kalidas, the poet. So these two are important. Other Charak and Chanakya we have already talked about, if you remember in the last chapter. Now I am taking you to Harshvardhan. Very important Harshvardhan. Now this king, whatever we got about Samudragupta was from the inscription by Harisen. But by Harshvardhan and other various kings, how do we know about them? We knew about them because their biographies, Jeevani, had been written. Their life has been composed, and it was done by Harshvardhan biography was written by Banabhatta. He is Banabhatta. He wrote Harshvardhan's biography, his life story, and that was created around 400 years back, you can say. And then the name of this, it was written in Sanskrit actually, and the name of this famous biography is Harshacharita. Harshacharita, if you remember Buddha Charita, right? Harshacharita. And then after some time, this Xuan Zhang, I'll show you the picture of Harshvardhan. In his court, Xuan Zhang has come. You know about Xuan Zhang. So he was in the court of Harshvardhan, and he also gave a very good account of his life. So he is Harshvardhan, and this is the empire of Harshvardhan. Harshvardhan's empire. So let me tell you about his story. What Harshvardhan, first of all, he was not the eldest son of his father. He was not his eldest. So Harshvardhan, normally let me tell you the story first. The father and the elder brother, when they both died. Then Harshvardhan became the king of Thanesar. Remember this word, Thanesar. Okay, he became king of Thanesar, and where Harshvardhan's sister got married, that is, you can say his brother-in-law, he was the ruler of Kannauj. Harshvardhan's brother-in-law was, this is the Kannauj. He was the ruler of Kannauj. Okay, but this Bengal's kings or the rulers, they killed him. Ruler of Bengal killed his brother-in-law. After Harsh did what? He took the Kannauj from the Bengal warriors or Bengal rulers, and he also controlled the Bengal. He also ruled the Bengal. So then he went to Magad and Bengal. He also conquered the Magad and Bengal area. So Kannauj he took, Bengal he took, Magad and Bengal also. So this region, that is why his empire is shown like this. There is a Narmada river, so he wanted to come below this and wanted to conquer these areas also. But Chalukya, there was a famous king Pulkeshin II. Chalukya dynasty, it was Chalukya dynasty at that time. In this Chalukya dynasty, there was Pulkeshin II, and he stopped who? He stopped Harshvardhana. That is how we know about him. Okay. Now we are going to talk about Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Pulkeshin all by all account in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.